Blog Talk Radio.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Minions, welcome aboard. My name is Tom Marquis, Presidente. So glad that you could join us on another Saturday morning. I salute you as I'm on loan from God to you. You have the next 2 hours with me to guide you through this crazy world of sports. We do this thing called The Balance every Saturday morning between the hours of 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. Welcome to all of our affiliate radio stations across the United States who have just joined us. We have got a lot to talk about. College football, bowls, games, and we're going to begin to merge into the college basketball talk, also some NBA talk. Oh, yeah, by the way, the Chiefs lost. We're going to talk about that huge loss with Ed Kratz, beat writer for the Philadelphia Eagles, and our official NFL contributor, and of course he writes for the Sports Exchange, www.footballmaven.io/Eagles. Mo from the BS Sports Show going to join us as well. Well, of course, to BS about sports. 917-889-8516 is my digits. Rick Riggin, executive producer of The Balance, is standing by in the green room. We'll be back. We're going to get into some college football talk. Nick Saban, what say you? Right after this.
Tonight, I just want to take you away. Blow your hands up in the sky. Let's set this party alright. Players, put your pinky rings up to the moon. Girls, what y'all trying to do?
The Air National Guard is a reserve component of the United States Air Force and serves alongside active-duty Air Force members in times of a national crisis. In addition, the Air Guard serves the state and local community in a wide range of capacities. The reason people join the Air Guard is as diverse as our members and includes such reasons as a deep desire to serve their country, money for college, travel, new job skills, and the pride that goes along with belonging to the greatest military organization in the world. I joined because I felt a calling to serve my country, but I didn't want to be far away from my family, so the Indiana Air National Guard was a perfect fit for me. With over 95 different career opportunities to choose from and 100% paid college tuition to any state-funded college, why not give us a call? Call 1-800-841-3103 or visit online at goang.com to find out more. Again, that's 1-800-841-3103. The Air National Guard, guarding America, defending freedom.
It's double trouble, double the fun at African Safari Wildlife Park in Port Clinton, Ohio. See the largest antelope on Earth, the giant eland, and the ugliest creature on Earth, the African warthog. There's so much to see and do, including the Midwest's only drive-through safari. Feed the animals, see live educational shows, feel the excitement. Have your picture taken with a python or cockatoo. Feel the adventure. Shop the Symbol Lodge gift shop with items available from around the globe. Visit the snack bar or picnic facilities. Enjoy a pony or camel ride. Or cheer your favorite porker on to victory in the famous Pork Chop Down. Bring your family to see the rare and exotic animals at African Safari Wildlife Park in Port Clinton, Ohio. Just take Route 2 to the Route 53 North exit and follow the sign. Only 17 miles west of Cedar Point via Route 6. Open every day, rain or shine.
When you don't go to Geico.com, car insurance can be confusing. Like Swedish techno confusing.
Bark, bark, meow, meow. Dance with me, purple cow. Bark, bark, meow, meow. Ooh, you lovely cow.
Geico makes it easy. With 24/7 access, all you have to do is go to Geico.com and you could save money on car insurance. It just makes sense. Unlike You know.
Dance with me, purple cow. I like your move.
When you don't go to Geico.com, car insurance can be hard. Like early 90s heavy metal hard.
I'm yelling and screaming, and I'm loud. Roar.
Geico makes it easy. You can review and update your policy or report a claim on Geico.com or the Geico mobile app. Because shouldn't we all have a little less stress in our lives?
I'm not even upset about anything.
All right, and welcome back to the Bell. It's time to get things teed off. Joining me now is Rick Riggin, the right hand, well, the left hand of God. He hasn't quite earned the right to be the right hand of God, but he's doing his best. Mr. Rick Riggin, how are you, sir?
Pretty good, Tom. How are you doing today?
Never better. Always good on a Saturday. Gloomy Saturday morning here in the west suburbs, high atop the Balance Studios in Indianapolis, Indiana. Are you ready for Christmas, sir?
Yes. I mean, we're one of those procrastinators that wait till the last minute, but yeah, we're ready to go for it. So, and I know what you mean about the gloomy Saturdays. It has rained here now. It's like it's the third straight day. It's awful.
Whew. I'll tell you what. Do we live in the Great Northwest? I don't know, but Amazon is our friend. Amazon got the ship now button for me last night. Finally got everything put together for Zach and Kalina. So we'll see what happens. And, of course, they got socks. You know, I love my socks, my NFL socks. Or, you know, there's just something about socks that makes your body feel good, right?
You know,
am I the only one in the world that loves socks?
You just reminded me of something. You know, you talk about NFL socks, and I don't know if you watched the show The Goldbergs. You know, it takes place in the 80s. You remember when Sports Illustrated had that thing where you could get, like, the NFL football phone? For some reason, when you talk about NFL socks, that NFL phone popped in my head. I have no idea why, but that'd be an awesome Christmas gift.
Wouldn't it? I tell you what, I'm one of those happy dads that get socks on Christmas. So anyway, we digress. We put foot in the show already, right? See what I did there? That was a dad joke. All right. Or was it a bad joke? I don't know. Dad joke or bad joke? I don't know. All right, well, we're going to get into some of this college football talk. Obviously, Rick, I'm going to go ahead and let you just take the reins here on some of the most important games that we've talked about. And you and I jokingly talk about that nobody else cares about any other bowl game, well, unless your team is playing into it. So we will touch on some of these other bowl games. But let's talk a little bit about Alabama. Nick Saban, certainly everybody's going to be talking about them. Let's talk about the bowl games that matter. We'll break them down by the numbers as we get closer to them. But let's go ahead and start the conversation about the bowl games that you and I and our team and of course, the world is going to be talking about here in the coming weeks.
Well, I would just start off by saying, you know, I was wanting to actually talk about this on last week's show, but we had Army-Navy last week, and we spent a great deal of time on Army-Navy, you know, and rightfully so. But I really wanted to ask and get your opinion on this, Tom, is when you talk about the top four teams of the playoff, who should be in the top four actually? Should it be the best teams in the top four or the most deserving?
Well, you and I have talked about this many times, and I think that it should be playoffs should be designed to be exactly that. And I am not a fan of it's the same way in basketball because there's always those teams that don't get in, and there's always those teams that are on the bubble team that we're talking about. So I'm a big fan that if you've earned your way in, you should be in. I am not a fan of Well, strength of schedule. Well, this, that, and the other. No, here's what happens. You win and out, and you need to do that process throughout the entire season. So if you've won enough games, I could care less who you played. If you won enough games, now does that mean that we'll get the best match in the playoffs? Does that mean that we'll get the best game that everybody wants to see? Does that mean that we're going to get a game that nobody cares about? Does that mean that you can slaughter? And I'm just going to throw just a silly scenario out there that would never be a reality, but just for the purposes of understanding my concept here, I don't care if IU won enough games to get into the playoffs and ends up playing Alabama. Nobody wants to see Alabama and IU play for a national championship. That'll never happen. But that's the point. If that happened, if that scenario happened, if they won enough games to get into the playoffs and they won a playoff game to get into a national championship game with Alabama, that's exactly who should be there. Did that answer your question?
Well, no, not really, because with your scenario, then UCF should be in the top 4 right now, being undefeated, right?
I've said that all along. Have I not said that about UCF all year long?
But you're saying that it doesn't matter who you play against and how tough your schedule is. If you go undefeated, you should be in the top 4. So that's where I disagree.
Well, there's enough undefeated teams. Okay, there could be some caveats because there was, let's put it this way, there was more than 4 undefeated teams this year for the most part. So what I would say is then you've got something different. But let me ask you this. If only lost one game and UCF was, and I, by you guys, for those that don't know our lingo and our code talk, when I say you guys, I mean Notre Dame. Had Notre Dame lost 1 or 2 games, they wouldn't be in the playoffs. But would you be upset if the committee said, "Hey, undefeated UCF goes in over Notre Dame"?
No,
even
I
if you
wouldn't
lost
be
2
upset
games?
about that. I would not be upset about that, and here's the reason why. It's because Notre Dame only plays 12 games, while like most of the other top programs, these teams and conferences anyway, they all have a conference championship games, which those games do not matter, but they have that 13th game. Notre Dame rolls into each season already basically having 1 loss because it's like having a loss already because they only play 12 games. They are the only team.
Which, by the way, there goes to the favoritism that we have toward Notre Dame. Nothing against Notre Dame, not a Notre Dame hate, actually Notre Dame lover. But there we go again. Many, many times, Notre Dame football lives in this bubble all by themselves, and nobody else has to. They got to decide they're going to be part of the ACC. They get to decide the number of games they play. They have so much favoritism. Yet they're the loudest band in the group if they don't get into the playoffs. Go ahead, Rick. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
That's all right, but I don't see it as favoritism because it's like they already have 1 loss. So while all the other teams in these conferences can have 1 loss, still make the playoff, Notre Dame cannot do that. Notre Dame cannot have a loss and still make the playoff. So for that reason, I would not be upset if 11-1 Notre Dame would miss the playoff and UCF gets in. Or Georgia with 2 losses, or a team like that would get in ahead of Notre Dame because to me it's not favoritism. I know a lot of people across the country think it's favoritism towards Notre Dame. I don't see it that way because it's already like they have a loss by only playing 12 games.
Rick, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Okay. Was I cutting in and out? Because we're still trying to battle this audio demon that we have that's possessed us, and I've been trying to track it down, so I just want to make sure you can hear me. But go ahead.
Yeah, I can. It was cutting in and out earlier, but I was still able to understand and make out what you were saying anyway. But yeah, I was just saying, in case it was cutting in and out, that it's almost like Notre Dame already has a loss just by playing 12 games a year. They go into the season already knowing they have to run the table. While other teams in these conferences can actually lose a game and still make the playoffs, Notre Dame can't do that.
Well, they could if they played the normal schedule. That's the point. They shouldn't already have a loss built in because of their schedule. They should play the exact same schedule as everybody else. Why is that not favoritism because of schedule?